So here are some lessons, especially for my girlies, from the book of Esther. So right into it, the first one is rudeness and pride can strip you of your position. So this is in Esther 1:12, where Queen Vashti refused to go to the king. So the king had commanded Queen Vashti to come to his presence. He had all the royal and noble men all over the world. And so he needed the queen to be there. And the queen just said, no, I'm not coming. So the king felt like that was disrespect, especially in the presence of these royal men. It's like he's not able to even rule over one queen. Can he be able to rule over everyone else? So he was mad and he asked for advice from these noble men what he needs to do. And so the second point is there will always be someone better to replace you. So this man called Memucan advised the king that Vashti should be banned and find someone better to replace her, because they told the king, this is what, when other women hear about this is what they'll be doing to their husbands. They will not be heeding to whatever the husband is saying. So replace her. There are better people, there are better women, so you've got to replace her with someone better. So just know that when you're being rude and you have pride or any other of these bad traits, there will always be someone better to replace you. And then there is this one caught my attention. Beauty and pureness can bring you to king's presence. So they said they needed beautiful virgins, not just women. They didn't say bring women so that the king can choose the queen. No, they were so specific. They had to be beautiful and they had to be virgins. And on top of that, that even with the beauty, you need to maintain it. So these beautiful women had to be brought to Hagar. There's a man here called Hagar who was in charge of taking care of these women. So they had to be brought to him, and they had to get beauty treatments and special foods for 12 months. That's 1 year. So these women are already beautiful, but they have to come here and get beauty treatments for a whole year just so that they can go, they can be at the presence of the king. So girls, let's not be so comfortable. Like you're so comfortable, you're like, I'm a natural girly. It's good, just be natural hair and all that. But we're not saying apply all this makeup and all that. But at least take care of your skin. You know, that little skincare that you can do, that's taking care of your hair. You know, it's God's temple, so it's better if you take care of it. And if this is in the Bible, and we can tell that Esther is she's such a game changer in the Bible, and she was part of these beauty treatments. The other lesson is learn to keep your mouth. We always say move in silence, and people think that it's just a phrase. But in Esther 2:10, Esther was told by Mordecai not to talk about her background. She was not to talk about her nationality. Remember, she was a Jew. She was not to talk about also her family background. She was an orphan. Her parents died, and Mordecai was the uncle who was taking care of her. So, and Esther was actually in care of Hagar for 12 months, and she was with other girls. I can only imagine there were so many stories, because you are so many girls, you're all beautiful, you all want to be queen. So there must have been stories and maybe some groups that were formed. There were some cliques. Maybe there were some who hated others because they felt like they had a better chance. But this girl, our girl Esther, just kept. But again, Mordecai, who was the one who told Esther to keep quiet, he talked about his nationality to some people at the gates. He used to go at the gate to just look around and see how Esther is doing, if she's still okay. So she talked about his nationality, and he risked his life because there is this other guy called Haman who was promoted, and the king said that people should respect him. So people were kneeling for Haman at the gate, but Mordecai said, nah, I'm not going to kneel before any man. But now he had talked about his nationality to these friends, and these friends, guys, just told Haman about his nationality. So there's this guy, he's called Mordecai, and he won't kneel down to you, so he doesn't respect you, and he's a Jew. So the other lesson is that your decisions might affect a whole lot more than just you, because now here Mordecai's decision, no matter how good it was, it affected the Jews. So Haman was like, should I kill this guy? No, that's too easy. What I'll do, I'll kill all Jews. I'll kill him and all his people. So his decision to talk, yet he had told Esther not to talk, put at risk all Jews. And remember, Esther is also a Jew, so she was at risk of being identified as one and also killed. And then there's the lesson of good things take time. Remember the beauty treatments? They were 12 months. It was not like just 2 weeks. You know, as girls, we want to, you start your facial or you start the gym, and 2 weeks in, you're just looking at the progress. It's good to do that. It's good to be optimistic, but good things take time. These girls were there for a whole year. They took the special foods, they took the beauty treatments for a whole year, and that is in Esther 2:12. Then you also need to heed to your master's advice. And when you say masters, it can be anyone, your boss, your elder, your parents. So this is in Esther 2:12, that when Esther was brought to the king, she asked for nothing but what Haggai had suggested. So Esther gained favor with Haggai because she was beautiful. If the Bible says she was beautiful, she was. So she had been advised not to ask for anything else apart from a few things that have not been told here. So it said that she asked for nothing but what Haggai had suggested. Then in Esther 3:2, just stand your ground. So Mordecai did not kneel down to Haman even at the king's command. So Haman went to the king. So there's this guy who can't even kneel down to me, and Mordecai still wouldn't. He wouldn't. I think he felt like that would be worshipping him. So the next tip here is about dress code. So your dress code will determine the doors you can enter. So when Mordecai had heard about the plan for the Jews to be killed, actually it was a publication. There was a publication, so everyone received that they would be killed. So he dressed in sackcloth and ashes. And then when he got to the gate, that's as far as he could go. So anyone who was dressed in such a manner could not go past the gate. Then you should know when and who to speak to when you need help or when you're in trouble. So Mordecai did not try to go to the king himself, but he knew Esther was in a better place. Esther had already won the king's heart and actually everybody's heart. They said that everybody was pleased with her and she had already been made queen. Okay, so Mordecai knew that it was better to go to Esther, who was in a better position, who was actually now in the palace, instead of him going there himself or sending someone else. So know who to talk to and know when to ask for help. We talked about knowing how to keep it short, but now know when not to be silent, because you can see Mordecai telling Esther that she cannot be silent. At a time like this, she cannot be silent, and if she is silent, help will come from somewhere else, but she and her family might perish. So she was to go to the king and speak to him about the Jews. Yeah. And then the other thing is that Esther was actually determined to help, but she knew as much as she had this favor with the king, there was this rule that if you went before the king, if he had not summoned you, you were to be killed. It was death. But she really wanted to help. So how would she do that? Fasting. Fasting. The Esther fast. I'm sure you've heard about the Esther fast. There's been the Daniel fast and all that. But there's this Esther fast where you fast for 3 days and night. No food, no water. It's like the dry fast. So, and she was not to fast alone. She told Mordecai, go and tell all the Jews to fast for me before I go before the king. Fast for me. And I will fast and fast with my attendants. So, Esther is such a, I don't know. I wish I can see her in real life, but these attendants, I bet they're not Jews. They may or may not be Jews, but she told them to fast with her. Like, they were not involved in this Jews business. They were doing their work. They were just attendants who were attending to her as now the queen, sorry. But Esther told the attendants to fast with her, and they did for 3 days and 3 nights. No food, no water. And this is what brought give her the favor. I tend to think if she just went there, the king, because she was only queen for 30 days at this point, just 30 days. So it's just 1 month, and you're coming to me before I summon you. I just dropped the other queen. I can drop you as well and find someone else. But Esther knew the secret. The secret was just fasting, and that's it. So, and basically, Esther said, if I perish, I perish. That is more like the common phrase, if I die, I die. So I'll go to the king once we are done fasting, and if I die, I die. At least I tried.